Hello, guys. Welcome to the show. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran. I'm here with Yanzi Lynn, and we are bringing up some, what I'm going to coin decimated DC news, even though this has to do with another company. But this just in, the good people from Comixology that left are forming another company. I think this is pronounced Distillery.
It's like that. It's like the thing with Berserker. You take out all the vowels and you come up with some fancy new word. I'm pretty sure it's Distillery. So, what is this company over here? It looks like the co-founder of Comixology is actually creating this new company, and they'll publish single-issue comics in two formats: oversized premium format print comics that will be available in comic shops, and limited edition digital comics available for 1 week only from the website. Okay, that's interesting. Limited edition digital sounds like NFTs, doesn't it?
It sounds a little like NFTs, but it also sounds like they're trying to build some sort of FOMO to drive to their site. I wonder if these things can be resold. Like, I don't know if they're trying to build an artificial, like an NFT comic that you're able to resell for, I don't know, a different value. I don't know.
Well, anyway, one interesting thing is that they want to go into comic shops, so they're trying to say, "Hey guys, look at us. We're not bad guys. We're not just gonna, run off and be like, we steal our creators, make them do Substack, and we don't save the comic stores."
And that's interesting. I want to pause for a second on that because a lot of comic shops have never liked Comixology and everything it stood for going to digital. A lot of retailers are the reason digital comics demand the same price as a printed book, because retailers would boycott ordering these books if the companies didn't mandate that. These dudes aren't friends to retailers. And I think this is a bit of an olive branch that they're trying to do with this new company.
So let's look at who is going to be in the company, though, because obviously if you want to start a comic company, you need creators. So let's look at some of the names here. Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, Ram V, Jolie Jones, Jock, Becky Cloonan, Brian Azzarello, Stephanie Phillip. Interesting. That's a very interesting list of creators. And interestingly, the company is going to set aside 3% of the company equity to be distributed to the creators whose projects are released in Distillery's first 3 years. So they're trying to incentivize them and say, if we do well, you do well.
I want to point out also founding editor Will Dennis. Now, Will Dennis is a person that did not go to the West Coast when DC left New York City to go be West Coast Comics. So he's been like a guy that you will see around the comic scene and at conventions and stuff. And he was a really big publisher type, editor type, greenlighting projects guy at Vertigo for the longest time after Axel Alonso left Vertigo and went to Marvel. So it's interesting to see Will Dennis pop up here as a founding editor in this venture.
I'm looking at this list of creators here, and I can't help but see that most of them actually are from the DC stable of creators. Did you notice that?
Including Will Dennis. Now, that is a thing that we're really going into in this video, and what you're seeing here in the industry, and this is why I coined it Decimated DC, is there's a bit of a game of musical chairs happening right now, where the direct market's kind of crashing. Sales are down on Batman for the first time since ever.
ICV2 sales data over here showing that Spider-Man actually sold more copies than Batman for 3 months in a row now. That's pretty unprecedented.
Well, and the big takeaway is, and maybe you like Spider-Man more than Batman, that's fine, but the way ICV2 operates is the idea that Batman sells 100,000 copies. So what this tells us is either Spider-Man selling 101,000 copies or Batman has fallen way below 100,000 copies. And I'm going to lean into saying Batman's kind of petered out. Like they've done so many Batman spinoffs, and everything DC Comics has been publishing has been Batman this, Batman that, going way back to even the metal stuff that Snyder was doing. The company has not known how to sell a comic unless Batman's attached to it. And even then, they're doing things like bisexual Robin and stuff like that. So they're missing their mark even there. I do think like there's a bit of a fatigue happening with Batman, and the fact that DC Comics just isn't selling Superman, they're not selling Justice League or any of this other stuff really well, then this is really horrible news. Now, at the same time, what we're seeing here is a lot of the top Batman writers in the last 10, 20 years at DC Comics, like Snyder, James Tynion, Brian Azzarello, that these people are basically hopping around looking for some sort of other place, a lily pad to land. Now, whether that's Substack or whether that's Amazon deals like Scott Snyder had for a bunch of books. Is that working out? Is he doing more of that? It doesn't look like it. All of these people are hopping around looking for the next secure place to land. And it's weird too, because a lot of these things are kind of creator-owned books, but they're not. They're being bankrolled by somebody else. And again, with this company, they're offering a 3% equity in the company to the creators that are jumping on, which is not a lot. Now, that is something, and they're trying to bring up in their statement here that creators get the short end of the stick. But the reality is like you're also handing these creators a short end of the stick. That these creators technically on the internet, especially, and don't really need this company. That I mean, maybe this company's putting money up, which they go into that. They seem to have some investors from tech companies all the way to Hollywood producers.
Mhm.
So
So I'm going to point out this interesting part. Distillery is bankrolled by a number of investors from inside and outside comics, including Kodansha USA and French publisher Groupe Delcourt. So that is the main thing here. You have publishers here, obviously people who want to get in or maybe say international publication rights and so on. But the 3-member advisory board, this is what we need to focus on. They are in tech entertainment, not comics. We have a veteran of the video game industry, CEO of Shiva Entertainment, tech strategist, and a film producer and founder and owner of a picture, and the producer of the G.I. Joe and Transformer movies.
mhm.
So what I'm seeing over here is that, okay, important part, advisory board. So they can be advising all these creators to do things that sounds like it can be translated into transmedia properties, TV shows, movies, games, blah, blah, blah. Not comics, I'm afraid.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And this is something that doesn't really happen when you make good books. You know, when somebody set out to make a cool manga like Chainsaw Man or, My Hero Academia, I mean, they're not sitting here designing these characters and drawing these characters to try to be a live action movie. My point is like some of these designs work really well in maybe a video game or animation or a toy, but not a live action movie. And the fact you have so many diverse creators here, or I'm not creators, but diverse venture capitalists here, where they practice in movies and film and TV show and video games, like you're basically going to end up with like the guys writing the checks criticizing the content to a point of what services them, not what services a comic buyer, not what services a comic creator. And again, I'm going to call this venture. I mean, I hope something comes in to fill the
All
void
right.
of DC's sales, but I'm going to call this a failure right out
So
the gate.
am I understanding you correctly? This is basically not a comic book company. This is basically an IP farm that is being produced.
And I'm not going to remember the name of the other company, but there was not too long ago, there was another company we reported on, and they were trying to do something like Substack with Jimmy Palmiotti and Eric Canetti, I think. It's the same thing. You're going to see a lot of these companies popping up trying to grab IP and farm IP and present themselves as like rattle some change in their pocket to creators and then present themselves like we're really wanting to do comics, guys. That's why we've been sitting back. And there's a lot of creative juices out there that don't have a paycheck anymore at DC Comics. And let's pick them up and just try to mine them for one run of stuff. And again, like, I'm not trying to pick on Snyder here, but like what happened with his big Amazon deal? Did it work out too well? Like, is there more of that? Like, well, why is he going to another company looking for sort of the same deal? These things aren't, I mean, a lot of these companies too, you have to understand, are they here for the long haul or are they here just to run 12 books and get 12 IPs? And if they become something great, if they don't, they only invested in 12 IPs and 12 comics and makes their portfolio look good. And just because they're not producing any more books or anything on it today doesn't mean that they can't make a movie 5-10 years from now or a video game from that. So it's really weird. I really want to go back to the beginning of the video where I called this decimated DC. And when DC fails and this talent is out there, it's going to get picked apart by vultures. And I'm not saying that these guys are vultures, but these are the middlemen. If you scroll up, these are the middlemen of comics that don't make comics, looking to offer creator-owned deals that actually probably don't benefit the creator. The creator actually could go to their own platform. They could crowdfund. They could mail their books out. the books can be made, and they maybe would even make more money, like we've done with Inglorious Rex Volume 2, $233,548. This campaign is coming down in 9 days. You will not be able to back it. If you do want to go back it, please go check it out. We have some great perks, guys, some miniature figures that are also in the subscription box. If you like Warhammer type mini figures, this figure is in the subscription box. You can build, paint, put together a beautiful figure. Support creator-owned comics. You know, we're building our own comic company here, 9 Lives Comics, and we'd love for you guys to be along for the ride as we make these glorious books. Please start out with Inglorious Rex. You can pick up Volume 1 there. And if you want something for the kiddies, we do have Starlight Cats up in this campaign too. You can also order. I'll leave you guys with a trailer for this. You can back it at Indiegogo or our own website, and we will catch you guys again with another video.
Guess who stepped on the scene? I got greatness all in my jeans. Ain't no way that I can slow down. I'm laced up, look how I shake the ground. Can't touch the crown, but you can kiss the ring. Close your eyes and see how I live a dream. I'm too smooth, MJ with the lean. Don't be fooled, I came through with the team. This is over their heads, how high can it go? I'm too over the edge, got my eyes on the goal. And we right back at it, keep them right on their toes. Look at the way that I move, this is all that I know. Cause I got the drive, I put it in gear. Line them up, I don't see no competitors here. If it ain't first place, we really can't settle for it. Listen up, get ready for it.